Okay, we're back. We're back with the Donald Trump rally, and of course, the minute I decide to go off the air, somebody shows up with a bullhorn and is pretty much antagonizing the crowd.
Whoever's the president puts his hand on the Bible. This ain't Compton, buddy. This ain't Compton, buddy. This is Orange County. This ain't Compton. You're not in Ferguson. You're not in Baltimore. This is Orange County. You've lost your mind. We do have a little bit of morality here in Orange County. Maybe not in Baltimore. Maybe not in Albuquerque. Why would you need to protect me when you people are so tolerant? When you are judged not? When you are let's all alone and get along? You don't understand kumbaya right now.
As you can see, additional officers are now being deployed. They're creating openings in case at some point they're going to have to push the crowd back because they've really started infringing on the separation point. Yes, it was a very short break.
I doubt you're going to touch me, young man. I doubt you're going to touch me. I doubt you're going to touch me. The difference between me and you is if I wanted to touch you, it'll happen. I don't threaten you. It'll happen. Unlike most of you guys, you want to cover your face up. You want to act like the tough guy. You guys are a bunch of clueless people, that's all. You guys are a bunch of clueless. You'll rebel against all authority.
It looks like what we have is we have a guy on a bullhorn who is somehow in the middle of the crowd, pretty much riling him up. You know, I don't know who it is on the bullhorn. He's holding a sign that says, Jesus, I am the way and the truth, earlier, but now he's talking to the crowd, and they're definitely responding to what he's saying. Okay. Some of the protesters are asking the police to get the guy with the bullhorn out of here.
We're asking you to separate.
They're coming up with a strategy where they're going to try to separate the guy with the bullhorn from everybody else, allowing him to speak, but at the same time keeping everybody safe. Yeah, I can no longer move. I'm pressed with a crowd of media and press. Here comes a team of officers. And what they're doing is they're trying to separate the agitator. And there he goes. He's a street evangelist who's been here all morning. And he's actually been here all day, but in the last 15 minutes or so, he started getting much more verbal. And now they're going to try to push the crowd back and reestablish the separation line. As you can see, everybody was safely escorted out.
Everyone else is staying behind the red tape.
Yeah, I'd have to say everything I've seen, Anaheim PD has done a really good job of trying to prepare for every contingency, but as we all know with human behavior, you never know, and some people are throwing a few things at the officers trying to push the crowd back right now. Okay, they're trying to reestablish that barricade line that separates the protesters from the arena itself. There's a full deployment of Station 18 or Orange County Sheriffs that are here. They're part of the mobile field force team. Some of these officers I've seen out here for hours now, and it does get pretty hot when the sun comes out. Well, part of the point here at BTB is, to really show the officer's point of view of what's going on. And we're literally between a rock and a hard place here, trying to allow for peaceful protest, but at the same time having to manage the crowds can be a real challenge. The department was very aware of what's happened in the past month in Costa Mesa at Anaheim City Council meeting, and more importantly, what happened in Albuquerque last night. It was definitely not the same amount of people that were in Albuquerque. I think that's a lot of that is due to the fact it's during the day. There are people in school or at work, and there's no cover of darkness. Oh.
I got that expression from my LAPD brother. He calls you guys tuna boats.
Yeah, one guy who feels obligated to yell at the cops while he's here, even though all they're doing here is trying to keep everybody safe. Okay, how are we doing for sound now? Wanda, are you getting sound now? I think what happened was, now that they've done what they needed to do, they're moving the mobile field force team back into the staging area, which is just around the corner. And yes, Santa Ana PD is well represented here. I think what happens is every time somebody text messages me directly, it cuts off the sound to Facebook Live. This is our first attempt at Behind the Badge at doing a Facebook Live broadcast, and thank you all for watching. It's been pretty effective. Yeah, in fact, I don't know if you copied earlier. In fact, I'm going to go back just to give anybody who might have joined us. We have a equestrian team deployed out here along Catella on the north side of the convention center. We have one team on one side of Catella and another on the other side of Catella. That's along with a lot of motored officers. The motor officers are controlling the perimeter and trying to make sure there's no pop-up crowds that start. And here we have the equestrian unit, and if you can see across the street, there's also another deployment, another squad of horses. And yes, there is an LASO deputy in the midst of everything. And there's Sergeant Duckowitz. We're broadcasting live on Behind the Badge. Yes, we're always keeping an eye with the guy bandanas. Speaking of the guys with the bandanas. And he doesn't like horses. Yes, Santa Ana PD is here. Buena Park PD is here. Westminster PD, Huntington Beach PD, Costa Mesa. As I went through the list, I think the only one I didn't see was Brea, but that doesn't mean that they're not in the staging area. There is a large area just off site where they have quite a few additional officers. We seem to be having groups starting to leave this area. This is where it can get scary because now they're not in one area. They could start up and start trouble at any part. As you can see, we have these little groups breaking away. It looks like we have the equestrian unit responding or being deployed, and I've just heard a whole batch of sirens light up, and I'm going to try to take you, because there's two areas. There's this area here, and there's another area at the entrance to the convention center where protesters were gathered. And as we can see right now, units are attempting to roll code 3 through the crowd here. The equestrians are on the move. There we go. Costa Mesa PD, Orange PD. These were the mobile units. Okay. Now we have the Trump supporters heading directly towards the area where the actual protesters are staged, and I don't think that's going to go well.
USA! USA! Can't stop Trump! Can't stop Trump! It's in the Constitution!
Okay, there's definitely going to be problems that direction. What you're seeing is the news staging area for all the news vans in the left turn pocket for Catella. There's not only local news stations, but national coverage is here. CNN is here, Fox News is here. A number of news stations. Univision International, which has the largest viewing audience in the world, is here with one of their main broadcasters from Latin America is present as well. Okay, we're coming up to the spot where there, like I said before, there's these pop-up protests that take place that the department has to be prepared to respond. And as you saw from the response, they were definitely prepared for that. I don't think what the public understands is you can't be everywhere, and it may take a minute or two, but they will be there. As you can see, this is one of the deployment teams that was able to form up and group in just a matter of minutes. Across the street, you can see there's also an equestrian squad. Let's see if we can see all the departments represented. Orange PD is represented. Placentia PD is here. Costa Mesa is here. Orange PD is here. I think, you know, in previous protests, this intersection has been a flashpoint. And I think part of their job right now is just to maintain control of this intersection, which is Catella and Harbor. Every hotel that's in this area has a large private security presence as well. Thank you. My primary job was never to be a reporter, but I think it's important people hear law enforcement side of the news. Okay, the equestrian team is moving back, and I'm going to head back in the direction of the main protest, which is a few hundred yards down the sidewalk here. And I think they're being redeployed back that direction because you knew trouble was brewing up the minute you saw that line of people headed that way. It's great to see the horses going down the middle of Catella. And I would say they're responding code 2.
That's how we do it!
Okay, I don't know if you see it, we're still trying to get there, but that equestrian team that was there in Catella is now being deployed with the first squad, so we have 2 squads combining, and from what I'm seeing from a distance, it looks like there's trouble brewing back at the original protest point. Well, code 2 in police jargon for a police unit is get there like right away, but without the red lights and siren. And I don't think any of the horses have a red light siren equipped. Probably at some point here pretty quickly, Catella may be shut down in order to make it easier to move officers to the location if needed. It is one of the busiest thoroughfares in Orange County, however. Motor officers keeping the intersection clear. Okay, here we have a mobile field force team from the Sheriff's Department. Okay, somehow I ended up behind the police line. Hey, Isaac. Okay. I am going to go around. Okay.
Take a corner 2 straight up the sidewalk. Set up your
And Orange County Sheriff's Department, your people are doing wonderful. And as we thought, the Trump supporters who showed up have come and they've pretty much kicked the dog here.
You gotta go. You gotta go that way.
Okay. And here comes the Sheriff's Department. And they're going to try to push everybody out of the way here. I am actually going to try to get behind the police line here, just so we get that perception of what's going on. Yeah. We always see what's happening on the front side. You know, as you see, the horses are doing a great job. Oh, somebody just threw something into the crowd. And you got to hand it to these guys. They're doing an awesome job. Okay, the groups have become so intermixed, I don't know how they're going to separate them, unlike earlier where they were able to just pull a few people out. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to start moving. And here we go. Okay, the people can leave. They're trying to push them in a westwardly direction away from this area. Okay.
Questions. Okay. Do you support NSA surveillance on anything?
Okay.
Rasta unite!
Oh, okay. Not where I want it to be, but let me try to make my way out of the crowd here. Okay, I'm going to try to get up here to the side where we see all these people up here, and hopefully I can continue to cover. You know? Oh, excuse me. They're trying to push people back into the protest area here that has been set up for them instead of keeping them away from the sidewalk. Okay. Now we've got a good vantage point from a little bit across from the police line. Yeah, I gotta hand it to OCSO, you know. As you can see, they're in a single line with a, you know, double line right behind. And we've got the equestrians on one side, and they're trying to order people to come back in here if they want to protest, but everybody seems committed to staying on the sidewalk. Okay, looks like they're conferring with the LT there with the sergeant, because we have a large crowd still on the interior here. Since this is a restricted fly zone, the only helicopters here are pretty much police, and news media helicopters are really high up. Okay, now it looks like it's like a school of fish. There is no leader of the group. They've decided to make themselves mobile and start moving west. Where they end up, who knows? That's one of the challenges for those of you who aren't in law enforcement, is you're dealing with a leaderless group, which is really hard to determine which direction. In most protests, we can meet with the organizers. The officers can have discussions about who, what, where, when, and why, and provide for their own security. And these type of spontaneous protests without a leader, it makes it really tough. So like a school of fish, a small group starts moving and people just start following. As you can see, they're walking westbound on Catella now. There would be one incident commander for the entire event, and that incident commander is usually staged at a command post where he can view everything. There's a lot of visual available here, not only from cameras, but there's a plane flying overhead that's providing live feed for the incident commander. It looks like this particular area, there's a lieutenant from Anaheim that's on scene, as well as a lieutenant from the sheriff's department on scene, and the equestrian unit has their own lieutenant as well. Well, God bless you. I think it does look like it's really under control, but like I say, despite the huge presence of police, you just never know what could happen. We're dealing with human beings whose behavior can be very spontaneous. Yeah. And over here, they're going to start moving the crowd out of the way here, including from this area, and they're trying to push them west on Catella.
Which way can we get out?
Okay, it would appear right now the strategy is to push everybody westbound out of the area. Okay.
Get back!
The officers are asking everybody to get back and slow to listen.
We have to lock arms. Like, do we really have to
Keep moving, clear the area is the command.
Control your dog. Get your dog back. You're going to get pepper sprayed, you understand?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Fucker!
Don't respond to anger. Don't respond.
We're allowed to fucking protest. We're allowed to protest, and we will protest.
This was not a good idea to bring your dog. It's like bringing a child to a protest. And this lady is effing the police, and all they're doing is trying to clear the area.
I'll fucking pepper spray you.
Don't say stuff like that. Don't say stuff like that.
And this young man's trying to keep her under control.
It's just, you know, I just don't see the necessity of this, but I mean, hey, we're peacefully assembled, you know? We're not fighting, we're not arguing with anyone at this point. Keep it that way. I just hugged a Trump supporter. I hugged a Trump supporter. We shook hands. I shook hands with the Trump supporters, and we got past our differences. And you know what we said? You know what we said? We're all here together. We're all here together. The Trump supporters and the anti-Trump, we held hands and we hugged. How is that even close to a riot? We hugged, we shook hands. You know, how is that even remotely close to civil disobedience? We're peacefully protesting. We have the right to do that.
Yep, you do. Thank you, sir. What's your name?
Edgar.
Edgar? Thank you, Edgar.
Thank you.
Use your words, not your fists. There we go. That's what I tell my grandkids.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I have two choices here. I can try to get behind the police line, or I could stay in front and just move west with everybody else. Yeah. I'll weigh the options here. And selfishly, if I go west, it'll be a walk of about a mile to get back to my car. Okay. Let me see if I can give you an overview here. To my left or to the north, we have the equestrian unit deployed. And then we have the mobile field force deployed. And I believe the plan was we had the Trump rally was dispersing, and a lot of the people attending were going to be coming out along the area where a lot of the protesters were at. And it was a good idea to try to keep them separated. We saw what happened when just a small group came here.
They're all over.
As you can see, we have equal amounts of media both behind the line and here in front. Okay, looks like the equestrian team is on the move. If you remember earlier, we had quite a few of the protesters moving west. And I think they're going to try to get out there to continue to follow that group. In fact, I see a bunch of them have pretty much stopped down here, and we'll go down and see what they're up to. And as you can see from the traffic, Patella has been shut down. This is one of the major thoroughfares in Orange County.
They're sending people over so they can start bullshit. So they'll have a reason to come over. They got closer now. They're following them. Ain't nobody doing shit. They're waiting to start shit. They're lucky. Now, there they go. Let me get the fuck out of here.
Okay, they're giving the dispersal order. The rally is over.
I guess the street lights came on. Time to go home.
Okay, this is an overview. If you look east here, we've got the crowd pretty much stretched out all the way to the entrance of the convention center to here. Now this is the area that concerns me as they're dispersing these small pocket groups of people going out and causing trouble where officers are not present. I mean, you try to be everywhere, but you can't be everywhere at the same time. That's one of the jobs of the motors, is to keep a watch on the perimeter as well as the air units too. We've got a small group that is gathered here.
Come on, is she? Take it. What the fuck?
You know. We've got a veterans group here that's reporting their own media. I'm going to go back in this direction. There's now people on both sides of the street now. They're dispersing, but kind of dispersing in various directions. Interesting group of people. We have a lot more people putting on masks now, and including the Lucha Libre mask.
Coming out right now. Man, I'm gonna throw it at someone right now and shit.
Angel sweater?
You know, the sheriffs are doing a good job. They're pushing them a little bit forward, giving them time to disperse, and then pushing them forward. There seems to be some heated discussion taking place with some of the guys on the line. Let me see if I can capture some of that. As you can see, the sheriffs have done an awesome job of moving people a little bit of a time, giving them a chance to disperse, and then moving forward again. It's a slow process, but it's the safest way to get people out of here without creating more disruption. Hi, Lori. Okay. We've got units responding code 3 on Catella. And we have the equestrian unit responding back this way. I think they're trying to keep up with those break-off groups.
He was one of us. He stood next to Cody when the guy tried.
I love it. One of the equestrian guys has got a GoPro on his helmet. Okay, as you can see, the sheriffs are deploying all the way across the street now. The idea is to push the crowd back.
Can you imagine the pay scale? How much this is costing?
Oh yeah. You know, they're getting paid well. The cops are getting paid very well right now.
There are a lot of them around all the time.
It's going to take a taxpayer funds. It's going to piss the people who are out here causing trouble off.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's it's needed. It's well needed. You can't just have random people going crazy and confronting kids and confronting everyday average citizens. You know, the kid has a right to wear whatever hat he wants to, and it's his future. So why wouldn't he be out there supporting him?
Thank you.
All right, kid, you ready to head back to the
As you can see, the equestrian squads have now converged, and it looks like they're going to push people back again. I'm still debating whether to be on this side or that side of the line. The rest of the behind the badge team is at the Orange County Sheriff Commander's meeting right now. And being low man on the totem pole, I'm here.
Go out that way. Push forward. Actually, you'll have to go back that way and go around.
Yeah.
You want it? You want it?
Can I shake your hand? Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've actually been pretty decent. Thank you, sir.
You know, they are letting this disabled gentleman cross the line in the opposite direction. Good call. Back. By the way, we have 311 viewers on Behind the Badge right now, and I'd like to thank you for joining us.
You guys are allowing this to happen because what? Look at this. Why do you have to do this?
Get up there to my cameraman. Is that okay? Just through there. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Yeah. You can go this way all you want. It looks like there's some sort of injury over there. Paramedics have responded. And it looks like Michelle Geely from Channel 2 is out there in the middle of it. Oh, I recognize that gentleman. He was the gentleman that was taking the flag away from the kids who were trying to stomp on it. And even though he is a protester, he felt that was unpatriotic. Yeah. You know, here's one of the challenges. You close down the street, but once you close down the street, it opens it up so people can just walk around on it. And now you can see that sheriffs and the mobile field force teams are deployed all the way around the perimeter. We have two lines. We have the equestrian line, and then we have one line of mobile field force and then a second line. And the idea is to continue to push back, go back. And now we have a squad of LASO deputies on horses that have showed up as well. So once we get ready to move here, this should pretty much clear out this area. Like I said, there's some sort of medical aid taking place there right now. And AFD is present. Anaheim Fire Department is present.
And what could happen going up against like this? I guarantee you, all marching solidarity, showing that we're all together, that we all want peace, that we all want love, that we all want unity.
Hey,
we could show.
Joe Vargas from BTV News.
Please.
Would you like to say something?
I just want to say to people that maybe perhaps watching this, even to police officers everywhere, and like, we're not against you guys. We're not against trying to take away anything you guys want.
I think you're going to have us move.
We want to first, like this.
Okay, just to show you something, I don't know if you can see it, but right in front of the horses, I've been calling him Jump Rope Guy. There is a guy who's been jumping rope with a mask almost the entire time this protest has been going on since this morning. I don't know where he gets the energy.
Skippy?
Skippy.
Skippy?
Yeah.
Are we calling him Skippy?
Skippy, isn't it? It's gotta be. I tell you, he's fit. I'll give him that.
I know. I've been watching him since 9 this morning. Okay. As you can see, they moved everybody up a little bit. And I'm going to try to walk and see who's here in the crowd. Anybody would like to estimate what the dollar cost is of this event? Okay. Here we go. Yep. I thought they would stay for a minute. They didn't want to be this close when they started moving. Okay, you can see once again they move up, they give the crowd a chance to disperse and move forward, and then they move again. Well, the horses are wearing eye protection.
Oh, don't touch me! I want a pink tie.
Well, I guess I haven't got a choice now. I'm going to head this direction. The helicopter is giving the dispersal order. It looks like the investment made in a new speaker system has paid off. It's pretty clear. Okay.
We'll never be divided. The people united. We'll never be divided. The people united.
Okay, see if I get some of the higher ground here. Okay, whoops. There we go.
Go. Watch your step. Keep moving.
Watch your step. Let's go.
Okay, moving.
Over the wall. Go. There we go. Go. Go.
See now? Moving.
Okay, I don't like where I'm at right now. I'm getting a little tight up here. I'm going to move back out onto the street.
Back up! I'm not sticking my top of my stomach now.
Let's go. Look.
Hey, look, Daddy.
So I'll go to Disneyland. Going to Disneyland.
Okay, reporters are trying to report at the same time they're walking, and it's not working too well, including myself. Okay, it looks like we're moving at a little more rapid pace now.
Will be arrested.
who thought we'd be walking today. I go. It's
Where are we going? That's what I want to know.
Well.
Let's go to the Annabelle Inn and go to the bathroom.
Yeah. There's actually a good restaurant there.
Is there?
Yep.
Joe, how are you? Are you giving the PD stuff?
I'm behind the badge live.
Oh.
Yeah. Our friend Michelle Geely from CBS and KCAL. You know, she wore her walking shoes, as you could see. Yes, Angel is overhead, and they're giving the dispersal order over and over again.
Speak to me in Spanish! Speak to me in Spanish!
Okay, I've created a cushion here. Let me just watch this. These horses are worth their weight in gold, man. They just, the crowd just pushes back. Nobody wants to get trampled on. Even if they step on your foot, it hurts. Thank you for the compliment, Chris. Miss Dad a lot.
Everybody to left or west, and then make another left on
How is the sound coming through?
They say this is the happiest world on earth. Look at this. What is this?
Not happy no more. It never has been.
That brings a good point. I'm sure people in Disneyland are hearing the dispersal order too. That second squad of horses is now at Catella and West Street. Thanks. I think next time I'll hook up an external condenser microphone. Believe it or not, I'm using just the built-in microphone in my iPhone right now.
Randy's going to take you for this tent.
Find the sergeant, Michelle, and you can go through. There's.
Sergeant.
Are you trying to get that way?
Yeah.
Let me see. Darren was right over there.
We're not doing anything violent. They're not pushing people. There was people
Okay.
that were throwing
There was definitely some pushing. Someone was burning a hat.
I promised that was earlier.
Okay. Can Channel 9 get back to their van?
Thank you.
Okay.
The three of us, thank you.
Yeah. Guys are doing an awesome job.
Who you're going against. Practicing the same thing.
We're broadcasting live on Behind the Badge. Yes, he is still talking.
No one is violent, no one is burning things. It doesn't happen. Las Vegas and Albuquerque, and there are people, throwing barriers and destroying trucks and people's heads. That only happens when
What a great line. I mean, you got a deployment of both mobile field force and horses. You know, just a textbook job of slowly pushing the crowd back, giving them time to disperse. And at this point, we have the police department. Okay, they're skipping. Okay, I have to say this about him. He is in great shape. He has been skipping pretty much the entire time I've been here. Thanks for the comment. I've been to a lot of protests, both as an incident commander and a supervisor, and this is really a textbook job of crowd dispersal that I'm watching right now.
Can we get through our hotel?
Okay. The guys, you can go straight ahead, make a left turn, another left, and you can go back to your hotel.
Well, that's all the way around.
Yeah.
We're at the Marriott.
You're young. You can walk that far.
So how does the crowd control work?
Well, the crowd control, this is called a mobile field force here. Their job is to slowly push the crowd back, stop, wait for them to move, then push forward, stop, and wait for them to move. It pretty much comes out of this. If anybody wants to be here, it's because they're looking for trouble. You know, that the helicopter has already said this is an unlawful assembly. You're ordered to disperse, and by law, you have to disperse. If you don't, you get arrested. But so far, nobody's been arrested. But then you got guys like that. Yeah.
That's the wrong message. I think she's saying go for burning. That should be a better message, and I don't think that's like hate provoking at all. Just say go for burning.
Well, you're obviously younger but wiser than he is.
I've been through a lot of stuff, and I tend to learn stuff that
I don't know where this guy came from. He has not been here that I've seen the entire time I've been here. He just suddenly popped up.
I just want to go to Marriott.
How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Was somebody hurt back there? Or?
Yes, there was. No police wanted to surrender, no help, first aid kit, CPR, not even a breathing technique, nothing. We had to render all.
Well, I saw the paramedics.
Finally.
After two seizures, and we had to open his mouth. Yeah, paramedics came. It was a civilian call. Yes, it was a civilian call.
Okay, my bad. I accidentally hit the pause button. I gotta get me one of these cool yellow vests. Okay, time for the selfies in front of the dispersal team. Okay, if you're just joining us, we're at the Anaheim Convention Center in the city of Anaheim for the Trump rally. The dispersal order has been given by the helicopter, and the crowd is being pushed back away from the location. Orange County Sheriff Mobile Field Force team, as well as the Equestria team, have been slowly pushing the crowd back. They go about 25, 30 yards and then stop. giving the crowd a time to disperse.
The power of the people is greater than the people in power!
Yeah.
The power of the people!
No, there hasn't been any rioting. I got a hand. The couple in front of me with the American flag, they took it away from a protester who was trying to stomp on it, and they're protesting against Trump, but they literally, the gentleman physically grabbed the guy, threw him to the ground, and took the flag back, which I thought was kind of cool earlier.
Well, they're just pushing us to the intersect.
Okay, I'm going to try to get ahead here. As you can see, we have a whole line of units here. And we have an equestrian team at Catella and West Street. A lot of media here, some of them I've never heard of. And for that matter, most people have never heard of Behind the Badge either. We're now at the intersection of Catella and West Street. We have the equestrian team pretty much lined up really well. We have the motor team. I believe the strategy is just to continue to push people west. I have no idea where these people parked, and here's an overall view of what's going on. I just watched a lady come up, stop, ask the officer if she could make a left turn onto the street here. And you're right, Jamie, I keep saying equestrians. It's a mounted unit. My bad. Yeah. The gentleman, I'm walking up to a heated discussion taking place, and the guy in the white shirt with the red shorts up here arguing or discussing very loudly. This is about the fourth or fifth times.
I'm a fucking mechanic. They're not dickies. These are dickies.
You know?
I'm a mechanic, and I'm smarter than fucking most of you people. I took the day off to take myself out and not my 12-year-old child who doesn't know any better.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. I have no right to talk to him. He's in the mix here. He wants to see what's going on. He's trying to show him, oh, we're the bad people here. Let me explain. You know what I'm showing anybody. What did your father say earlier? We're a bunch of shit, right? He said that earlier. He's a Martinez, you dumbass. So why is your father speaking for you?
Cousins. Shut the fuck up. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Shouldn't get bad with
The problem when you have this is that the line is a disciplined line. They're not going to be able to come in and rescue this guy. If they do, they have to break formation, and it's quite a bit of a struggle. So these little heated spot arguments that are taking place, you're pretty much going to be on your own.
What do you see here? Who is here against Trump? Don't tell me not moving anything here about Florida. Hold on. There's a child here. Hold on. Fuck Donald Trump. You brought your child here to be in the mix.
What's the system? That's what.
So you can brainwash your child, you idiot.
I'm telling you.
Brainwash your kid.
Your time.
Brainwash your kid.
In jail, prison, or wherever the fuck.
It's been crazy, man. People just
As you can see, there's quite a bit of separation between the law enforcement officers and the protesters now. Yeah. Let me give a shout out to all the units that are here. We have Santa Ana PD here. We have the Orange County Sheriff's Department. And I can't see the patch there. We have Huntington Beach PD here. Ventura County is here. Anaheim PD is here, represented. And the Orange County Sheriff's really good mobile field force team is here. Great job, guys. And here we go. And the Newport Beach PD is here. I've never seen one of them without shorts on. It's good to see you. And Irvine, Tustin. Yeah. And yes, Fullerton PD is here too, although I don't see them here right now. I believe they're part of the rapid response team. And we have those gentlemen still engaged in a heated argument up there, or discussion. Let's say call it a discussion. And Skippy is still going strong. Yeah, you bring up a good question, Melissa. What is the cost of this? And that's a question we'll probably be asking. It's important that people know that these things do not come cheap. Keeping property and people safe does cost a lot of money and resources and time. Okay, I'm going to pause here just for a second to see how much battery I've got left. I've actually gone through my backup battery, so let me check and see. Okay, I'm back. I'm good. I'm at 70%. I can stick around for a little bit. But believe it or not, we've been broadcasting live for over an hour. And we have some young lady littering, just throwing trash everywhere. It's actually gotten a little warm out here. Here we have another mounted squad. And behind them, a mobile field force team. This one, I think, is made up mostly of Anaheim people. How's it going? Good. We've got Sheriff's Department here. Oh, Santa Barbara County. Good to see you. Huntington Beach. Okay, how's it going? Yeah. We're broadcasting live on BTB News. Okay. And let me guess, you've been to Disneyland.
I'm Canadian. I just want to go to my hotel. I don't care who wins.
Yeah. In the midst of all this, we have a lot of tourists now.
Yeah.
That have been caught up in this.
Welcome to Disneyland.
it's in the bus stop.
I take that back. That mobile field force team, that is not Anaheim. That is Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, Placentia. We have some couple of guys that are purposely antagonizing the crowd. They've been doing it all day. That is the same guy that was engaged in a heated argument just a few minutes ago. And he's purposely antagonizing a few people in the crowd. I'm sure at some point he's going to encounter some knucklehead and then get himself in over his head and expect the PD to come out and rescue him. It's hard to tell what they're chanting right now. I've actually got an earpiece in, so I'm not picking up the ambient sound real well. I said it earlier in the broadcast, and I'll say it again, that a lot of what you're seeing here is just performance. These people, absent the cameras from the news media and everything else, we wouldn't see the type of crowd we're seeing now. But it's a democracy and freedom of the press. There's a couple of guys just yelling at each other. Trump supporters and protesters. And I don't have access to a radio, but it looks like one of the helicopters is watching something just south of us. We have Motor Sergeant Geary trying to keep people from going straight. They keep stopping to ask them if they can go straight. You know, my focus here isn't to get into politics. I just want to people see what's going on. There are dispersal orders being given by the helicopter.
Do not break up this assembly and leave now. You'll be arrested and taken to jail. If you remain in this area, please from this California Penal Code Section 409. Remaining residents and unlawful assembly, possibly other crimes.
I have to agree, as far as the protest has been taking place, while it's very loud and squirrely, there hasn't been much of an issue, but okay, now we've got everybody going back into the street. It looks like those two guys are still going at it down there.
Move out of the street or you're going to get run over. I'm trying to direct traffic. Let's go. Put the phone away and ride.
Okay, I don't know what happened, but that gentleman over there has got an injury to his head. Hey, yes. Yeah. I don't know if he's with the news media, but he is a photographer that was definitely hit with something in the head. Checking your website. I have to run a new we're broadcasting live right now. We're Facebook Live. Nice to see you. Well, I'm broadcasting as long as my battery goes out.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry for what I always said.
Come on, people. Now they're blocking traffic. Let me see. Yeah, actually a few of the protesters grabbed some of their fellow protesters, telling them to chill out. Good job. They just swarmed that car.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to get a little dicey here because now we're getting away from the convention center. You know, for those of you who aren't familiar with the area, we're probably a quarter mile away from the convention center now.
I like Mexicans, but I don't like you.
And they very quickly shut down traffic on this street. Yeah, I do believe it has some entertainment value. It is hilarious.
I'm smoking marijuana.
You guys do a lot better than the people.
Keep moving. Get back. Clear the area. Keep moving. Get back. Clear the area.
Hey, you gotta
Keep moving. Get back. Clear the area. Keep moving. Keep moving. Let's go. Keep moving.
Once again, I ended up getting caught in an area I didn't want to be. Okay, let me get out of here. I get a little claustrophobic when I get pressed in the crowd. Yeah. There's a Trump supporter in that car. He's got a Trump billboard in his car, and they just swarmed his car. And they just brought out their phones and started filming everybody, and they walked away. The demonstrators have been given ample warning that they're to disperse and to leave or they will be arrested. And they're taking their time about it. Another Trump supporter. And can't even move at this point. And she can't move because the police are in front of her.
What are you doing?
Get back!
I actually don't know what happened, but I believe the gentleman under arrest kicked the back of that van and dented it. And that's why the sudden surge forward. And he is in custody. Oh, it's actually Skippy.
Use your voice, not your hands. Back up!
Yeah. Did Skippy kick the car? Did Skippy kick the car? The guy who was...
Somebody like banged it up.
Yeah, I think that's why they arrested him.
Oh, they arrested him?
It's right down there in the ground. You know, we're going to run into some problems here because we got people, because the street was still open. These people are leaving the hotels and area, and they're having to go through the protesters and the police line, but they're adjusting for that right now.
The Anaheim Police Department, I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly in the name of the people of the state of California, and command all those assembled to immediately disperse. So please must break up and leave this area immediately. If you do not break up this assembly now, you will be arrested.
The news van got stuck in the crowd.
If you remain in this area, regardless of your purpose, you will be in violation of California Penal Code, Section 409.
There's only one car left. Okay, I'm going to pause here and check my battery again. Okay, we're back in broadcasting again. By the way, they effected that arrest really quick. If you guys watched it in real time, they just swarmed forward, grabbed the guy, put him behind the line, and then just locked the line down again. That is actually the first arrest that I have seen today, and I've been here all day long. Yeah. If you didn't catch a broadcast earlier, Skippy was the guy jumping rope in front of the police. And somebody else just got arrested. These people have been told over and over again that it's time to go home, and it doesn't apply to them. They told him.
When they start throwing shit, they're gonna get pissed because they got horses. They don't want the horses.
Is that what he got? He threw something?
I don't know what they threw. They just threw a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they all just put their masks on. Are you doing a podcast or something?
Yeah, I'm on BTV News.
I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly in the name of the people of the state of California, and all those assembled to immediately disperse. Please must break up and leave this area immediately. If you do not break up this assembly now, you will be arrested and taken to jail.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened, but one of the guys that was watching, an observer, said that they're starting to hook people up for throwing things. And they have spotters at the front as soon as somebody gets caught. And oh, there's another one. I'm going to see if I can get some good video of his face. I'm still watching him. He threw a bunch of stuff at the horse's face. He's picking it up again. And he's going to go all the way up front and try to throw it in the horse's face. And I am going to see if I can capture his face. This is him right here. And that was him right there. That was the young man that threw a bunch of mulch into the horse's face. I would say Angel's flying at about 600 rather than their usual 800 feet. And there he goes again. I guess we're limited to an hour and a half on our live broadcasts, and I've just got a warning from Facebook that I got 4 minutes of broadcast left. Yeah, this guy has just been antagonizing the officers now.
No, just run, don't slam your ass.
Yeah, I was running.
Well, they were told that people would start being arrested and that there would be zero tolerance. And it looks like they're going after somebody who just ran into.
You got beanbag guns.
I'm going to stay at a distance here. I've got my running shoes on, but the crowd's too big. Yeah, I could probably start a new broadcast. I went through my backup battery already.
Watch out! Don't use your constitutional rights! I know. What's the goose squad with 5, 6 different departments? Can't handle your own fucking city! Newport, Orange, Tustin, what the fuck? Fuck you guys!
You know, the interesting thing, and I've always thought, is mainstream media doesn't broadcast things uncensored. And the type of abuse some of these people spew on the officers is really pretty bad and creative.
Stop throwing shit! Stop throwing shit!
I'm going to step pretty far back now because I've been way too close the last few times.
Oh look! You're supposed to care about this shit.
I think I'm going to change tactics here and go to the side. Okay, I'm going to take a break for a second. Okay, I'm going to resume, but this time I'm going to be behind the line, showing you what the officers are going through. These are the arrest teams. Their job is to target individuals that may throw something or maybe be engaging in behavior that's threatening. And For those of you unfamiliar, the larger armament that you see is actually a beanbag type gun. It's non-lethal and will pretty much take the fight out of anybody. Okay, this is the transport van where people who are arrested are put into. We've actually got a couple of them. They're being manned by Orange County Sheriff's deputies. And here's the rest of the mountain.